Have you ever thought of a religion that reveres nature, connects us with ancient energies, and is modern and inclusive? That's Wicca. Today we'll explore its origins and current practices, showing that it's much more than spells and rituals. It's a way of life based on respect for the earth and all beings. Stay until the end and discover what Wicca really represents. To understand Wicca, we need to go back in time and meet an essential figure, Gerald Gardner. Gardner, an Englishman passionate about anthropology and the occult, was largely responsible for bringing this modern religion to life. Born in the late 19th century, Gardner was fascinated by ancient cultures and pagan traditions, which he believed were practically forgotten in England. After moving to the East and studying mystical practices, he returned to the United Kingdom with the goal of uniting pagan and occult knowledge into an accessible spiritual system. In the 1950s, Gardner introduced Wicca to the public, claiming that it was a secret tradition that he had discovered and decided to share with the world. He founded a movement that combined ancient European practices with contemporary principles, adapting ancient fertility rites, natural cycles, and spirituality to a modern context. From Gardner onward, Wicca began to expand and shape itself, gaining new followers and becoming one of the most popular pagan religions of the 20th century. At the heart of Wicca is the idea that everything in the universe is connected. Every being, plant, animal, and even the cycles of the sun and moon are part of a living web. This holistic view is what gives Wicca its character of deep respect for all forms of life. But this belief is not just theoretical. Wiccans believe that every action generates energy that sooner or later returns to them. This is the famous principle of threefold return, a kind of version of the law of karma. Whatever you do, good or bad, will be returned to you threefold. Another essential principle of Wicca is the Wiccan creed. Do what thou wilt, harm none. This phrase sums up the vision of freedom with responsibility. Wiccans are encouraged to pursue their spiritual desires and paths, but always with the care not to harm other people, nature, or any being. It is a vision of life that combines individuality with collective responsibility, encouraging each person to act with awareness of the impact they have on the world. Wicca is a polytheistic religion, but in a symbolic sense. Wiccans revere two main figures, the goddess and the god. The goddess represents the divine feminine and is associated with the earth, fertility, creation, and the moon. She is the mother and, at the same time, the force that guides life and natural cycles. The god, in turn, represents the divine masculine, associated with the sun, hunting, and renewal. He is both the father and the son, symbolizing the seasons and the vital energy that moves nature. For Wiccans, these gods are archetypes, that is, they are more symbolic representations than concrete divine figures. The goddess and the god symbolize the complementary principles that govern the universe and exist in balance. This balance is fundamental in Wicca as it teaches harmony between opposites, something they see reflected in everything, from the seasons of the year to human relationships. Wicca has a strong connection to the cycles of nature and celebrates this connection through rituals. The sacred calendar of Wicca is called the Wheel of the Year and marks 8 major festivals, or sabbats. Each of these sabbats corresponds to an important phase of the natural cycle, from planting to harvest in the rest of the earth. On the Samhain Sabbat, for example, celebrated on October 31st, Wiccans honor the dead and reflect on the cycle of life and death. On Beltane, on May 1st, they celebrate fertility and the renewal of life. In addition to the sabbats, there are esbats, smaller rituals that take place during the phases of the moon, especially the full moon. These rituals are times when practitioners concentrate to meditate, say prayers, and sometimes cast intentions. The magic practiced in Wicca is not like what we see in the movies. It is based on directing energy through intention and concentration. Using herbs, crystals, and even words, Wiccans believe they can attract positive changes into their lives, but always in accordance with the threefold law, avoiding harming anyone. When people talk about Wicca, many people still think of stereotypes of witchcraft. But the reality is quite different. Wicca is a religion with strict ethics and principles of respect for life. It is important to remember that Wiccan practice does not involve curses, dark practices, or any form of manipulation. On the contrary, Wiccans value harmony and avoid using their practices to negatively influence others. Wicca is inclusive and welcomes people of any gender, race, or sexual orientation. There are no restrictions or requirements, and each person can adapt their practices according to their own spiritual vision. This is one of the great attractions of the religion. It values individual freedom, allowing each person to build their own path in an authentic way, as long as they respect nature and others. Despite being a relatively new religion, Wicca has been growing a lot in recent decades. One of the reasons for this growth is precisely its flexibility and its message of respect for the environment. In times of climate crisis and the search for sustainability, Wicca offers a spiritual vision that promotes harmony between human beings and the planet. Another factor is that, unlike many traditional religions, Wicca has no rigid dogmas or hierarchy. Practitioners are free to create their own practices and interpret the teachings according to their experiences. This freedom attracts mainly young people who seek a personalized spirituality and who feel distant from traditional religions. Furthermore, in an increasingly digital and disconnected society, Wicca offers a way to reconnect with nature, a point of balance for many. If you have come this far, I hope you have understood that Wicca is much more than witchcraft or a fad. It is a religion that is based on connection with nature, respect for others, and the search for a balance between the human and the divine. For those seeking an open, flexible spirituality that honors the earth, Wicca is a powerful answer. Now, if you like this content, leave your like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And before you go, click on the video that is appearing on the screen. It will help you deepen your knowledge even further. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time.